at Daytona early in, but what a race they are putting on. Josh Berry in the middle, out front to the inside, Logano out front to the outside, Todd Gilliland.
Gilliland's got a good head of steam in that outside lane, and for the moment it'll push him to the lead, but back comes Joey, thundering down to the inside line, hugging that double yellow line. Logano back to the lead in two.
And he's out front all by himself on the inside lane of the racetrack. That'll quickly change as the field makes its way up the Daytona Super Stretch. Now the outside lane kicks in. Gilliland to the lead. It's McDowell to second, 3 wide for third.
That train on the top side starting to roll with the two front row motorsports cars at the front.
Everybody else stacks up 3 wide.
They are 3 deep for third, fourth, and fifth position. Keselowski's got the top of the racetrack. Joey Logano glued to the bottom. Stuck in the middle right now like the meat of the sandwich is Josh Berry.
One of these drivers hoping that Rusty Wallace was correct in that lap 25 mark when this pack would break up. This pack has been locked together since the dropping of the green flag. And right now it's led by Todd Gilliland.
Masterful shove by Ryan Blaney on the bottom lane to Joey Logano. Propels Logano forward. He pulls up to the door.
Pack would break up. This pack.
Race leader Todd Gilliland, but he'll stall out. And Gilliland gets a huge shove by Michael McDowell.
And behind Michael McDowell, you've got Brad Keselowski. Then you've got Austin Cindric and Austin Dillon. That's the outside lane. The inside lane, David, is a pair of Team Penske Ford Mustangs.
Trying to make some ground right now after dropping back. Joey Logano does into a side-by-side battle for the number 3 position. Front of the pack, the front row motorsports teammates living up to their name. They run 1 and 2, led by Gilliland.
Behind them, Logano and Keselowski are side by side, 3 wide behind them. That changes now as Keselowski starts to drag that middle lane to the front. Here comes Brad, drafting help from Josh Berry, 3 wide for the lead.
3 wide for second as Joey Logano gets a full head of steam into turn 3 on the bottom. He's out by his lonesome self. He'll now move off the bottom and protect Brad, who's coming up the middle lane.
Everybody getting good drafts from the bottom to the middle to the top. They continue to go wheel to wheel all the way around in this draft. Front, however, it's Joey Logano, so we're down to 14 laps to go in stage number 1.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you get the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Sun about as low as it can be on the horizon as this track is illuminated with the Musco lighting, and Joey Logano continues to be the car that had been up front, but the outside lane again gets a big push. Todd Gilliland will go back to the top. Gilliland led 16 laps in the Daytona 500 back in February, finds himself leading here in the month of August. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hey racing fans, William Byron here, driver of the number 24 Liberty University Chevy. Did you know that Liberty is not only my sponsor, but also my school? I'm getting a world-class education, and you can too. Whether you study at Liberty's beautiful campus in Virginia with state-of-the-art facilities in NCAA Division I athletics, or with the convenience of LU's 600-plus online programs, Liberty University has the fit that's right for you. Learn more at liberty.edu/24. That's liberty.edu/24.
Relive the thrills of over 50 years of NASCAR racing with the Motor Racing Network's Classic Race.
36th Annual Southern 500. They come down to the start-finish line. Bill Elliott and David Pearson get...
We dig into the MRN audio vault for unforgettable races and moments.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500.
Available on MRN MRN.com and podcast platform.
Alan Kowicki out of turn number 4, the new Winston Cup champion. He does it across the line.
MRN Classic Races.
$25 laps down, 10 to go here in the opening stage of the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. Tackle race day with the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Irresistible taste with zero sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
We have 25 laps complete. We've had 10 different leaders at the start-finish line, several more all the way around the racetrack. Todd Gilliland, Austin Cindric is a look at your top 10. It's all Fords and Chevrolets. Gilliland, Cindric, Brad Keselowski, Michael McDowell, Josh Berry, top 5. Then it's Austin Dillon, William Byron, Joey Logano, 8th, Daniel Suarez, and Ryan Blaney. That is your top 10 on lap number 26.
NASCAR Hall of Famer and our colleague Rusty Wallace said around lap 25 the handling will start to go away on some of these cars. So what are they saying about these race cars as we've completed now 26 laps? Let's take a trip to the pit lane. Brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Steve Post?
Well, Noah Gragson didn't get to lap 25. You guys had talked about him and some of his Stewart-Haas teammates dropping to the back. Car is not engaged. It feels like it's bouncing around. Drew Blickensder for his crew chief, a two-time winner here in the Daytona 500. Drew said just ride it out to the stage break and we'll start working on it. Brad Gilly, what are you hearing?
Almost the same thing from Chase Briscoe. He's actually not a part of the lead draft right now in that pack that's running 3 wide. He started losing the handling on his race car about 3 laps ago. Says the front end just won't engage in turns 1 and 2. They told him to go to the bottom, said that would help his handling. He told Richard Boswell the bottom doesn't help at all. It's much more rough. In complete contrast to that, a teammate of theirs, Josh Berry, leading the race. He is quiet and happy with his race car. Alan, come on, how about you?
Another Stewart-Haas racing car having trouble. Ryan Preece started this race in 4th and quickly went toward the back of the field, checking with the team. They said that is not entirely by strategy. Just like you heard with the 10 car of Noah Gragson and Chase Briscoe. Handling problems for Ryan Preece, their teammate. The same story. A little bit of chattering, a little bit of feeling that they've never had before at the track like Daytona, or even Ryan Preece questioning, have we changed something? Have we taken a different approach? Waiting on the stage to end so they can make a change.
6 laps to go in this stage, and just as a reminder, we don't expect anybody to pit prior to the green and white checkered flag. Stage points so valuable here tonight in Daytona.
Yeah, they are, Jeff, but you know, by rule, 2 laps before a stage conclusion, they close pit lane. We heard Brad Gilly allude to the fact that there are 2 distinct drafting lines now. There's the lead pack, and then there's a big gap before you have another 12 to 15 cars. Those cars, Jeff, it wouldn't surprise me with 3 to go in a stage that some may peel off the racetrack, because you'll be able to make a green flag stop, get back on the track without losing a lap. The stage will end, everybody else will pit, and they will flip the cycle and then turn themselves into the race leaders.
And right now we have a pack of 26 cars, so everybody outside of 26, 27th on back, could indeed pit with 2 to go. Let's pick up the leaders off of turn 4, back through the tri-oval. They come, and they are still packed together 3 wide. Joey Logano on the inside, Brad Keselowski, William Byron, Josh Berry, and Ryan Blaney.
Here they come into turn number 1. Joey Logano's on the attack once again. He'll go to the inside on Brad Keselowski. Bradley's in the middle lane. They run 2 by 2 now, dead even, door-to-door for the lead.
Almost leaning on each other. Coming out of 2, Keselowski and Logano were. Now Keselowski will swing wide. He's trying to block a couple of advances, while Joey Logano gets a huge shove from Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson down low.
The Blue Ovals flexing their muscle early here in stage 1 at Daytona. Joey Logano back to the race lead. Ryan Blaney tucks behind in second on the bottom. Brad Keselowski trying to get a shove from Josh Berry on top.
I tell you what, guys, these tires are holding on much better than I thought they would. I told you, like lap 25, they start falling apart. It hasn't happened that aggressive yet. They're still real tight. You really got to give a good shout out to Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company for developing this super durable tire tonight. It's looking really, really good for Goodyear at the moment, guys.
It really is. They stay double wide at the front of the field. Joey Logano on the bottom. Brad Keselowski topside.
Double wide, 2 rows deep up front, followed by a pack of 3 wide racing right behind them. Keselowski leads the outside. Logano leads the inside. Chris Buescher will lead the middle with help from Bubba Wallace.
Chris Buescher trying to get forward through the field here at the end of the stage. He's racing Kyle Larson for 5th, but here comes Brad Keselowski on the outside and Joey Logano for the race lead.
Joey Logano on the inside, Brad on the outside, then again three wide, several rows deep. Getting down to it now, Dave. 3 to go, stage 1.
3 laps to go, and a lot of stage points about to go up for grabs. They continue 2 by 2 through the first couple of 3 rows. Then it's 3 by 3 back all the way through the tail end of the top 20. Joey Logano shows the way off turn 2.
Josh Berry has gotten kicked to the outside. Matter of fact, he leads the 3rd lane in the extreme outside lane, and he's falling out of the top 5. Up front, Logano inside, Keselowski outside. Now Logano breaks through again.
Here comes that 3rd lane. Josh Berry gets help from Chris Buescher to the outside. He'll make it 3 wide for position number 4 to the outside of William Byron and Kyle Larson.
Trying to climb the leaderboard as points are going to be handed out in 2 more laps. Back to the start finish.
All right, here we go, guys. 2 more laps to go here in stage number 1. Who's going to get it here? By the way, over 100 people in the stream right now, guys. Thank you so much. If you are new here, please make sure and like the stream. That way we can get more people in here. And, yeah, just thank you, guys.
Position led by Josh Berry. He's going to slide down into the
Subscribe, too.
back up to the outside.
William Byron trying to throw a block there on Berry. Coming out of 2, it doesn't work. He's going to still power his way around the outside. Josh Berry will in 3.
Pay window starting to open for stage points here at Daytona. Josh Berry looking to get some help moving forward way to the outside here in turns 3 and 4. He's got Chris Buescher as Logano continues to lead.
1 to go in stage number 1. Drivers like Buescher running 9th, needs points. Bubba Wallace right in the thick of it. He needs points. Joey Logano will lead him back to turn 1. Final lap, stage 1.
Logano looking to ring the cash register and tally up those 10 points. But here comes Josh Berry all the way up on the safer barrier. Here comes Keselowski smack in the middle. They are 3 wide for the win in stage 1.
Now they will funnel their way onto the Daytona Super Stretch. Logano on the bottom, Keselowski in the middle, Berry topside, everybody with drafting help. Berry fender out in front will get the heave-ho from Buescher into the lead.
They fan out into turns 3 and 4. Berry back to the bottom to protect the line against Joey Logano. Josh Berry legs it out about a half car lane. Battle for second now. Logano and Buescher leading on each other off 4.
Green and white checkered flag in the air. Stage number 1 about to come to an end. Furious racing inside the top 10. Josh Berry will win stage number 1 of the was 8th. William Byron 9th and 10th was Kyle Larson.
And that was Josh Berry's first ever stage win, and it happens here tonight in Daytona. That look at the top 10 from Alex Hayden, presented by Sunoco. From feeling your favorite NASCAR teams to filling up at the pump, Sunoco is trusted to help vehicles perform at their peak. Sunoco, performance is what we do.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you can use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings, very possible. Playoffs, highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and affiliates not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
Hey, Dave, we need your truck to help us haul our camping gear. Sure, but it's not a truck. It's a Traverse.
Introducing the first ever Chevrolet Traverse Z71 with best-in-class max cargo volume and standard best-in-class 17.7-inch diagonal touchscreen among 3-row SUVs. It's the perfect companion on any trip. Make the most out of life's adventures in a Chevy Traverse. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Based on latest available competitive data, with rear seats folded flat. Cargo and load capacity limited by weight and distribution.
Stage 1 is done, and we should see everybody making a trip to pit road. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll cover those stops for you. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
This is Steve Post. If you love sprint cars, you'll love Wing Nation. All the latest sprint car news and interviews from the stars of sprint car racing from around the country. Join Ashley Strumming, Aaron Evernham, and me every Tuesday on Motor Racing Networks and Wing Nation's Facebook pages. We go live with the weekend's winners and newsmakers from around the country. You can also find the podcast of all past shows on YouTube or subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcast providers. Wing Nation, all sprint cars, all the time.
NASCAR fans, the time is now to turn your love of racing into free tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and much, much more. Rack up fan rewards points by watching races at home, playing fantasy, completing challenges, and visiting tracks. Then redeem your points for epic prizes. You are in the driver's seat. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fan-rewards.
Back at Daytona, lap 37, as promised, pits are open, and here they come at 55 miles an hour, including Joey Logano.
Joey Logano, the first stall here on pit road. He led a lot of laps in that first stage, but didn't pick the right lane at the end. May have cost him a stage win at the end. 4 tires for Joey Logano. Just up ahead of him, Todd Gilliland, great starting position tonight, but describes his car as horrible, especially in traffic. Can't come up on anybody, Steve Post.
A little bit of a tight condition is what Ryan Blaney says. They're going to make a chassis adjustment. 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. 4 tires and Sunoco Fuel for everybody. Michael McDowell in the first pit box. Brad Keselowski in the second pit box. The race on pit road. Joey Logano, Chris Buescher, Austin Cindric. And we have got Josh Berry goes out 4th fastest, Brad.
Josh Berry, stage 1 winner, comes in. He gets 4 tires. They waited on fuel. That slowed down his pit stop a little bit. Says he's just trying to learn out there, needs some friends. Daniel Suarez just goes by with a little fire out of the back of his car. For William Byron, he said the middle is good, but his car was getting way loose, especially with someone on the outside.
Well, you mentioned, Brad, the fire under the car of Daniel Suarez. Alan Cavano, what's the story down there?
Yeah, big flames out in the pit box of Daniel Suarez. Running down there to see exactly what happened. Clearly there was a fuel issue, fire on their car on the pit box, but it also affected Denny Hamlin's pit stop as the 11 car had to back up because of the flames and everything that was going on. Everything's out now, everything's safe, but it affected both the pit stops of Daniel Suarez and Denny Hamlin after they got that fire out in both cars out of their pit boxes.
And both are back on the racetrack. 38 laps about to go on the board here in Daytona.
And now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear with all the fits and features like Arch Fit and Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam. It's exactly the way I'd make shoes.
Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments
Now, welcome to Flight 101.
to annual girls trip moments, your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Back at Daytona, Daniel Suarez's car has erupted in the flames. He's just gotten at the pit lane.
Erupted, and they're trying to get him out of the car. He is pulled out of the car and over the pit wall right now. The back of the car is melted. There are firefighter safety crews out here with extinguishers. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Officials trying to point to exactly where the flames are. This is all in the rear of the car. Remember, he left pit road. It looked like it was out, but as they went around the track, the flames just erupted the back of the car. I'm looking at it now. They've got the fire extinguishers on the car. The fire is out, but the back of the car, this was a red race car. The back of it is completely black now, charred, melted. That's how big these flames are. Again, Daniel Suarez out of the car, pulled to safety. Right now, the only people on pit road are safety officials, firefighter types with their fire extinguishers. They're taking a look, trying to make sure the final flames are out. But again, All it is, the char back of the car and the foam from the fire extinguisher, the wrecker on there right now trying to get this car off pit road.
And Mike Bagley down the back straightaway, 70 miles an hour in front of you, and you saw the flames billowing from his race car.
Yeah, it started to really pick up when he got off the end of the back straightaway. He was on the apron of the racetrack. He quickly changed lanes and started to bypass cars, and then obviously cutting that car to the bottom to get to pit road. But those flames began to intensify and then obviously reached peak flame when he got back to the pit lane.
Daniel Suarez was able to get out of the race car with the assistance of the team. He has been standing there basically in disbelief, and everybody's kind of scratching their heads down there to try to figure out exactly what went wrong. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Relive the thrills of over 50 years of NASCAR racing with the Motor Racing Network.
Again, guys, if you are new here, please make sure and like up the stream. That way we can get more people in here. You know, that way the stream gets recommended and all that shit. I don't know. It's the algorithm. It's weird how it works, but thank you, guys.
Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500. Available on MRN.com and podcast platform.
Fallon Kulwicki out of turn number 4, the new Winston Cup champion. He does it across the line.
MRN Classic Races.
Drivers, start your engine!
NASCAR Xfinity Series races here.
Green flag is in the air, and they're playing bumper cars already as they race off in turn 1 by a fender. It's Cole Custer.
All the exciting play-by-play and lap-by-lap action.
Austin Hill to the bottom. He'll go to second. Big block from top to bottom by Jesse
The
Lowe.
voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Shane Van Gisbergen up the front stretch. The New Zealander wins at Portland International Raceway.
Daniel Suarez did get out of the burning race car, and the safety team have hooked that charred Chevrolet up to the wrecker, and they will drag it back to the NASCAR Cup Series garage. Scary scene down there on the pit lane with the fire from Daniel Suarez.
Well, that's one thing you just never want to see. And Rusty, you've been around this sport a long, long time. You've seen crashes, hard crashes, this, that, flips. You've been in them. But when you hear the word in your ears, you're on fire, that just takes it to a whole different level, doesn't it?
Absolutely. When you can see it in your mirror, you can smell it, and you're choking inside the car, it gets you nervous. That's happened to me one time in Michigan when I blew a motor, and I didn't like that one at all. But for Suarez, that was a tough deal right there. You could tell something when he finally stopped in pit road, it really lit up. So I'm not speculating, but maybe I am. Maybe it's a loose fuel line or something come loose, a fill hose in the back, because it was a lot of fire, guys.
It really was. As the field comes down to the line, Chief Starter Brett Dalton gives us the 1 to go, and we'll go back green flag racing. That means the drivers choose what lane they want to restart in. Joey Logano has first choice to go to the top side of the racetrack. Chris Buescher goes to the bottom, and then Jeff, the next 3 commit to the outside lane.
So he's got his teammate behind him, Joey Logano does, in Austin Cindric. They go to the outside lane for the restart. And a number of drivers, postman, say, you know what, one more time for Sunoco fuel.
Fuel is so critical, and getting as much in the race car as you can. Looks like Chase Briscoe was in getting fuel that time. Noah Gregson is in getting fuel. There goes Dayton Smith, B.J. McLeod. Fuel is everything, and this stop will make the stop in the middle of stage number 2 just a little bit shorter for these teams.
That is key to try to minimize the amount of time on the pit lane, especially when they're traveling nearly 1 length of a football field per second here at Daytona International Speedway as the field bunches up 2 by 2 behind the pace car. It was a thrilling opening stage of the race, Jeff Striegel. Based off of what all we heard in the garage area, there is now the opportunity to see how this second stage is going to play out with now 54 to go in the stage.
Yeah, just remember we were running laps at 192 miles an hour. We do expect to see that speed come down just a little bit. By the way, 15 lead changes already as we get ready to go back under the green flag, stage number 2. We've got a Geico restart coming up. Presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook lacking? Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started.
Field is lined up 2 by 2 out in turn number 4 in front of Chris Wilner.
Chris Buescher opting to restart on the bottom with Joey Logano to the outside, but keep an eye. The Toyotas have appeared with Bubba Wallace in row 3.
So stage 1 is complete. Time to turn them loose here in stage number 2. All eyes on the flag stand, all eyes on the front row where Joey Logano makes his way through the Geico restart zone. Green lights go on. Joey Logano on the outside. Chris Buescher on the inside. Behind him, it's Ross Chastain. Behind Logano, he's got his teammate there.
Teammates are a wonderful thing on a restart. They can give you a kick in the caboose and push you to the lead. That's exactly what has happened for Joey Logano. Although the battle coming back on the inside is Chris Buescher. He's got drafting help from Ross Chastain.
Right now, off turn number 2, Chris Buescher leads that inside line. Ross Chastain with him. Remember, these drivers are on the cut line trying to make the playoffs. They lead that inside line, and right now, they are by themselves with a car length separation down low.
Buescher gets a big shove from Ross Chastain this time into turn number 3. He's going to pull even with Cindric on the bottom here for position number 2. But Joey Logano will lead them all 4 on the high lane.
He does Logano on that outside lane, leaves the bottom wide open. If Chris Buescher can get a little extra shove from Ross Chastain, Buescher could be right there to challenge for the top spot.
Again, guys, if you haven't already, please make sure and like up the stream. That way we can get more people in here.
It's not going to last long.
And if you haven't already, please make sure and subscribe.
Chastain, top 6 are now nose to tail, making the top 8 2 abreast to the back straightaway.
Things have settled down a bit in the front. There's no 3-wide racing, only 4 rows, that is, of double-wide racing, and that's all gathered at the front. Right now, Logano will get the shove back to the lead. Compliments of Austin Cindric.
Ford's on the front row here at Daytona with Chris.
Okay, I don't know why the radio went out for a second. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's being stupid for some reason. I have no clue why. That's the first time I've dealt with this in forever. Trying to see if they'll pull it up. Oh my fucking goodness, come on. Again, guys, I'm sorry for this. It's usually this doesn't happen that much. Alright. Refresh the page.
Every single time that